Look at another example. So I made two curves here. This one, which is negative x minus 2 squared plus 4. So I took an upside down parabola, shifted the vertex right 2, up 4. We're very good at that now. And I set that from 0 to 4. And then I made my second parabola. You can't see the original equation I was using, but it was from my point B here. 1/9 times t minus 9 squared minus 9. The computer just put it into standard form. And I made sure that at 4 it had a value of 0. And I used that for my second one, so I made my piecewise function that went from 4 to 20. Now I created this point B. Let's see if we can see B. So B was where I wanted the center of that second circle to be. Okay, so I wanted to have my second center follow along this parabola. So I wanted the x shifted right 4. So I had to do t plus 4. Okay, because I'm just talking about a point here. And then I wanted my y's to follow along this parabola 1/9 t minus 9 squared minus 9. Okay, so I put up my slider. What did I want to do? My first circle, I wanted to trace along this parabola. Okay, notice something. For point A here, the center of this parabola is t, and then it's following along the parabola negative t minus 2 squared plus 4. So this is the center of my circle. So when I set up my first circle, I'm just doing x minus my h, which is t, squared, plus y minus my k here, squared. So when we look at the circle right here, circle C, you see it's x minus t squared, because my x coordinate for the center was just t. And then I did y minus a negative, which became y plus, t minus 2 squared, minus a plus 4 became a minus 4. All right, and I squared that, equals 2. So this right here is y minus the y coordinate of my point A. So that's nice and easy. It just follows along. Okay, and I set my window so that it only went from, if I look at my object properties, I made it for t less than or equal to 4. So for the second point, I looked at where my center was. So this made my point B. All right, and I wanted my B point to have an x coordinate that started here at t plus 4. And I wanted the y coordinate to follow along the parabola. Okay, I didn't want the beginning here. If I had just done t, not sure if I can, yeah, I can do this. If I had just done t, apply, okay, notice it shifts B over and still traces that same parabola, but I wanted that parabola to be shifted 4 to the right. So since it's a point, I had to put in here t plus 4. All right, and that shifts it over. So when I created my second circle, this is what I want the center to be. Okay, so now I come to my second circle here. All right, so I wanted my center to be moved to the right 4. So I did x minus 4. And then I had to do, since I wanted the time to be, well, I wanted the time, so notice before I had t plus 4, so there's my x minus t plus 4, give me x minus 4 minus t. But then I had to subtract off because I really want this to all happen. I want it to start going. I want it to think when it's right here that the time is 0. So I had to replace my t here with a parenthetical t minus 4. All right. Now, when I come over to the y part, I'm going to cancel this out for just a second. I don't know where all those b's came from. I'm going to look at my center B here. Okay, so remember, that's what I wanted to follow along. So I have to do y minus that. Okay. So when I click on this, I've got y plus 9. That's the y minus the minus 9. Minus my 1/9. And then I had the t minus 9 squared, remember? But I want it to happen, I want it to think that at 4 seconds it's at 0, so I had to make a t minus 4 in here and hit apply. Okay, so now, whoopsie. Now, let's just put the animation on so I don't have to keep tracing it. We've got the first circle, changes into the second circle. Okay, notice my B is a little bit ahead because the B point thinks we're starting at t equals 0. Because I just wanted it to follow along this parabola. Okay, so it's just following along this parabola. And there's my A coming back in. The center of A keeps following that parabola, shoots off. Okay? So again, it helps when we do this. Turn the animation off here. It helps when we do this if we think about what the center of our circle is going to be. So the center, again, the center of A, I just need to be t, right? And the y coordinates following along the parabola. For B, again, because I was shifted 4 over, my x coordinate was t plus 4, and then my y coordinate was following along the parabola that I wanted.